Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirit. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you once again for tuning in for another action-packed show this week. This week we're going to be discussing life's an inside job. Also in this week's episode we have the channeling from spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel in order for spirit to bring their wisdom and communications through. And then later on in the show, we will have your weekly energy forecast reading for this week. So hopefully that will help you navigate your way through the week ahead. So let's go deep into this week's subject matter, which is life's an inside job. Well, with that statement in mind, basically it's saying that perception is everything. The way that we perceive things shifts and creates our reality. And we can't, shall we say, look externally for answers. We have to face the truth of who we are in order to shape and mold and design our life as we choose to do so. Now, there's a beautiful quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer that I'd like to share with you. And he said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So that's outlining what we're talking about today in a nutshell. Basically taking that responsibility back, isn't it, for how we're perceiving things. Because after all, perception is everything. So how one person perceives a situation as maybe a negative scenario, another person may perceive that as an opportunity for business or an opportunity for them to step up and rise and shine. So it's all down to the individual, and it depends upon what frequency you're vibrating at as well. Those of you that do focus on primarily the high vibrational frequencies will always have a solution to a potential problem or a perceived problem. You simply have that open mind where you allow the inspiration to come in, and you can shape and change the reality, turning negative into positive by doing that. Just like Dr. Wayne Dyer has said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So this is telling us, isn't it, to take that responsibility for how we're perceiving life and our life and the lives around us. And by taking that power back, rather than giving our power away to outside influences, thinking that these outside influences can change and mold us for our betterment, when in actual fact, when we're not taking full responsibility, we're only getting half the results there, aren't we, by doing that? So taking that responsibility for your vibration, your frequency, your energy. So I'm talking about here ownership of the things that you may have decided to do in your past. The choices that you've previously made are now playing out in your now moments. So if there's something that you're not particularly enjoying in your life at the moment, maybe consider the thought processes or the decisions that you made to lead up to this playing out into your reality. Now, it's quite a harsh truth to have to face. And when we do that deep dive with ourselves and put our hands up and say, well, actually, yeah, I did think that. I could have made that choice, but I didn't. I made this choice. And so this is why it's playing out the way it has done. So holding our hands up, taking that responsibility, and also changing the way that we're perceiving that choice. So why did we make that choice? Where were we at on a vibrational level at that moment in time when we made that choice? Did we feel we were placed under pressure, and so we reacted quickly without pausing, without allowing that information to percolate through us and then making a choice. And we just went with it. So by taking that responsibility back and having that understanding that we've got the power all along to shift and mold and change our reality is paramount. And self-care as well is also paramount. So self-care, I'm talking about keeping your vibrations, your frequency, high vibrational. Now, a way of doing this is what I would call is what feels good to you, what feels bad to you. So having that understanding of yourself will help you navigate your way through taking responsibility. And a way that you do this is by aligning with things that make you feel good. Obviously, you want to hang on to that experience, don't you? Because it will expand and it will give you more that you can appreciate in that vibrational level. Whereas if you have a chink in your armor, or you're focused upon maybe negative things that have happened in your life and you're focusing on that to a degree that you can't perceive anything other than that, then obviously that's going to manifest and bring more of that lower base vibrational energy into your current reality. So it's taking that self-care and understanding that we have the power all along and we make these choices. So checking in with ourselves. You've probably heard me mention on the show before a technique that I share with my students, and it's called the baseline technique. And I'm talking about checking in with yourself on a regular basis. So how are you feeling in your physical body? How are you feeling emotionally? What thoughts are passing through your mind? And when you explore each one of these elements, you'll begin to find what I have just described as a baseline test. And so what this will do, it will enable you to understand where you're at in that precise moment. And if you're not happy the way that you're feeling, what you're thinking, then you have that power to shift those experiences by either taking away your focus of energy on those things and your attention, and moving your focused attention on things that do bring you that joy and that happiness. So it is good to have this regular practice. I would say daily. If you can, once a day, maybe twice a day, if you have that option, to check in with yourself. And then this will give you that level of self-care. Now, also, you need to accept yourself as well. As we say, life is an inside job. So you've got to learn to accept yourself, your quirks, your personality, your likes, your dislikes. And you must appreciate these things. These things give you your character. They shape you. And showing that level of self-love to these aspects of you will enable your frequency to stay more high vibrational. Whereas, as I say, if you were to focus on something that you're maybe not particularly excited about within yourself, then you're going to get more of that in your now moment experience. So having that trust and having that level of self-love will help you stay high vibrational, making the internal journey a more fluid one for you. Now, with this being the case, when you've arrived at that destination, having that level of self-love, you'll have an appreciation for what you do like and what you don't like. And you'll have that greater knowledge within yourself. Rather than aligning with what other people like, you'll have your own opinion. And there's nothing wrong with having your own opinion and knowing your own truth, because that is where your true essence, your true power is. And with each and every decision that you choose, you have the choice of either saying yes or no to any experience. Any decision you make, you always have that option. No matter how hard you feel as though that decision is being played out in front of you, you always have that option. And so by stating and setting healthy, respectful boundaries around yourself, with other people that maybe take you out of your personal power, that maybe are taking you out of that personal sense of peace, where you feel at ease and at grace, and you feel that comfortability and that beauty in your moment there, knowing who you are. When somebody tries to pull you out of that vibration, then obviously you have that choice of either agreeing with them, with your actions, with your words, with your thoughts, even with your energy there, by giving them your attention. That's a means of saying yes, even if you haven't agreed to anything verbally or physically. Giving them that energy there is a means of saying yes. If you retract that energy, then obviously you're saying no, aren't you? You're removing yourself, energetically speaking, from that choice, from that environment, from that situation. So we all have that power to do that. And with doing this, it gives us that beautiful opportunity to design our life in the way that we feel and see fit right for ourselves. Now, with this being said, we have that option to design our life, don't we? We can align once we know who we are in our now moments. Once we recognize our characteristics, we can then start to design our life in a way that aligns with those frequencies. It may not be to everybody else's pleasure or understanding. It may not be the right course from their perspective, but as we said earlier, perception is everything. And so when we take that responsibility for our own perceptions, we can then start and shape and design our life in the way that is in alignment with our own personal vibration. And there's nothing more satisfying than that. Feeling alive, feeling aligned, and feeling present whilst we're embracing these things. Now, designing your life can come in many forms. Obviously, it goes into the territories of manifestation. And in order to follow that process, we have to first, as I say, know who we are. Then we can make a decision. We can make a choice. Then we can start and visualize. We can start and set intentions. Hold the visualizations in our mind. We can then hold the feeling as we have it now, and aligning all of those frequencies and experiences together, continually holding that vibration will bring whatever it is you're wanting to manifest into your current reality. But everything has to match up frequency wise. So that's where the true essence of manifesting is, holding that intentional vibration so it matches, everything lines up, and then it will come into your reality there. But also I would say it's important to continually check in with yourself. Again, I've mentioned the baseline tests that you should do, but also clearing old thoughts, old belief systems, old choices that you've maybe have made many years ago. And for example, a prime example that most do, they leave school at 16 and they have a decision to make. What line of work are they going to go into? What level of further education are they going to go into? And at that age, at 16, I'm sure most of you will agree, you're still finding yourself. You're not fully formed as an adult, are you? Mentally, emotionally, physically. And so you make a choice what feels in alignment with you at that precise moment in time. And so with doing that, you follow that through. You follow that through. And because you made that decision way back then, most people stick with it and carry on with it and carry on with it. Well, obviously, we're continually changing, evolving emotionally, mentally, physically, aren't we? And so some of us may be feeling that urge to change our decision, to change our choices that we made back then in the past. And again, it's going back to what I'm saying, it's an inside job. We've got to understand that we made that choice, that decision, from the perspective where we was at that 16-year-old version of ourselves. So we need to show that level of love and respect for that individual back in that moment in time. We also need to have an understanding of where we were mentally, emotionally, physical in that moment in time, and simply clear that energy, let it go. Like I say, you can design your own life. If it's not working, if it's not who you are as that individual in your now moments, then you have that choice to change it. You don't have to stick to something just because you made that decision when you left school. Listen to yourself, tune in to yourself, follow the baseline checks, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, mentally, emotionally, physically. And this will give you that contrast so that you can do that inner work. You can do that forgiveness work. You can have that level of understanding of where you were back then when you made those choices. At the end of the day, when you leave school at 16, they're life-changing choices, aren't they? And you're basing them around how your baseline feeling around that time. But later on in life, you evolve, you grow, you change. And so just have that level of respect for yourself and be gentle with yourself. And by honoring it and seeing why you made that decision, why you made that choice, because it led you to where you are now in your life. It doesn't matter what age you're at. It certainly played a role on your life's path. So having that respect for that choice you made will allow you to let it go. Let it go with love, not resentment. Let it go in light. And understand and own that power that you have. Because life, as I say, brings many contrasts into us. Now, some of these contrasts, at first glance, can be quite negative. And first of all, our reaction is, oh, I don't like that. Well, obviously, that gives you an instant contrast, doesn't it? Well, if you don't like it, what are you going to replace with that? Something that aligns with you, something that feels better, something that makes you feel comfortable and at peace, in alignment with the vibrational frequencies. So the next time something of what you would initially react to as a negative experience in your life, start and turn that round and say, okay, I'll see it for what it is. Now, why has this happened? How is it making me feel? It's giving birth to new potentialities, new opportunities. That's what it's doing. And you'll start to have a sense, a feeling of what you do want, where you do want to be, what you do want to be doing. And you wouldn't have arrived at that thought process, that emotional crossroads, if it hadn't have been for that contrasting vibration that came into your life path. So honor these little shifts and changes along your life path, as this will have, I would say, a positive impact within your life if you have an open mind, have an understanding that this is for your higher betterment, and that's why it's come on your pathway. At the time, it may feel very upsetting. It may be distressing in many cases, in many ways, whatever the circumstance is. But nevertheless, it will always teach you a lesson. It will always bring you contrast, enabling you to do that inner work, to have a clearer understanding who you are and what aligns with you on a vibrational frequency level there, so that you can, again, design your life as you feel and see fit for it to unfold. Now, one thing in particular that I feel most of us aren't doing enough of, and this is celebrating our own personal success. Now, I'm not talking about inflating the ego. I'm not about to say put people on a pedestal or anything like that. It's what it's about. It's about celebrating each increment upon our life journey. Now, for some, that could be a massive leap. It could be a career move, a career change. For others, it could be something as small. A success might be the fact somebody that suffers, I believe the term is agoraphobia. They find it difficult to mingle in open spaces. a success for them would be leaving their house, wouldn't it? And maybe just walking to the bottom of their street. That would be a massive success. And so by celebrating these incremental successes, this is where our life will start to flourish and grow, because we're recognizing the energy that we're putting in to these situations. We're recognizing the choices that we're making. We're taking that responsibility for making those choices. And by showing that focused intention on the success of that experience, it allows us to hold that vibrational frequency so that we can continually walk upon that path of least resistance. Yes, there will be roadblocks along the way within our life, of course. Without that, we wouldn't have these crossroads in our life, would we? Where we have that element of contrast, where we have that opportunity to make an important decision. And without those roadblocks, those contrasting moments, we wouldn't be arriving at that destination. It would just be very samey, wouldn't it? It'd be very mundane, life would be. And we would feel like we were treading water and not getting anywhere fast anytime soon. Yet these little crossroads that we all go through, with no matter where you are in your life, they do provide those beautiful lessons. And when we just see them as lessons, as opportunities, a way of us turning things around so that it is in more vibrational alignment with the truth of who we are, then the better our life will flow there as well. So celebrating your successes, that is important. It could be the fact that you got out of bed in the morning, where normally you like to lay in till probably 11 a.m. in the morning. The fact that you set an alarm, set an intention to get up early, and you got up early and you did it and you showed up, that is a massive leap. That is a massive achievement. Many of us see that, oh yeah, I just got up at that time. We take it for granted. But for some people, that is a massive deal. And sort of, rather than allowing people to pull your vibration down and say, why have you got up at that time, you lazy thing? That judgment is their judgment. Don't you own that judgment? You own that success. Own that success of achieving something. You set that intention, you followed your actions, and you made that achievement. Celebrate it. That will lead to bigger and better things. And this, like I say, you can turn these examples into anything that will fit into your lifestyle, into your life plan as well. But the fact that you're celebrating each and every moment of your life, showing that level of gratitude, will help you to flourish within your life path there. And of course, it will amplify the frequency, enabling you to hold that vibration so that you can flourish within your life. So I'd like to give you a few examples where I've encountered this in my life. One of them, where you probably heard me mention before, where I went through a separation. And with that being the case, it was, as most people on here will understand, it was very traumatic. As it is, emotionally, mentally, physically, it gets every aspect of you. And in many respects, it was very, very unsettling, but it gave me personally that level of contrast. I reached a point in my life where things were just tickety-boo. They were just moving ahead, la, 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 day after day, blah, blah, blah. And the same old, same old. But something had to give. Something had to change. And the separation certainly did that for me. It gave me that contrast to do that inner work, to take that responsibility, to face those emotions that I'd buried for years and years. It allowed me to sort of go to back to the baseline, back to beginning, and start and analyze my life, where I'd been at, the choices that I'd made, where those choices had led me, and then this massive sort of collision, shall I say, in my life, the separation, what gift did that have to teach me? Well, as I say, he gave me that contrast. He gave me that time for self-reflection to understand who I was as a person, rather than being that sort of people pleaser, being that person that just goes along with things rather than taking their own responsibility and designing their own life. It gave me that sort of contrast where I did that deep dive, and I had to let emotions come up. I had to understand triggers that were triggering me emotionally, mentally, physically as well. I had to go through that experience, as I'm sure many of you that are listening that have been through a separation will have gone through a similar process there. And of course, it's having that love and respect for yourself, giving yourself that time. Now, even if this is not physical time as we perceive it, even if you're giving yourself headspace, space in your mind so that you can have this inner dialogue, this conversation with yourself, allowing you to see things from a different perspective. Why did you make that choice? Why did you go through those life experiences? And seeing the beautiful gifts that those experiences have got to offer you. And upon doing that, it allows you to build the firm foundations and create a life that you truly deserve. And it allows you to connect in with your higher self. And when you connect in with your higher self, there's certain characteristics within you that will change. And there will be people around you that may be family, friends, that will observe these characteristics changing within you. Again, don't let their judgments pull your vibration down. Instead, focus on each and every moment, each incremental step there, and celebrate it. And just your goal is to be not better than anybody else, but to be better than you used to be. And the way that you become better than you used to be is taking that responsibility, showing yourself that love and respect that maybe you haven't given to yourself before. You've just followed the tribe, and you've just been so easygoing that you haven't allowed yourself that love and respect. So by doing this, it's going to help you connect, like I say, with the true essence of who you are. And when you get into that level of understanding, you can then capitalize on the peace and tranquility that you've now allowed into your mental, emotional, physical moments. And this will start to catapult you in new directions within your life, where at one time in your life you would have said, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not comfortable about going there or seeing those people, all these things. By tuning in to your high vibrational self will give you that confidence back. It will give you that understanding that you're going to be fine. You're all right. Stop worrying. Just trust and move every step of the way. And by doing that, I want to say that spirit, your spirit guide, your helpers, your higher self will always be by your side, giving you that level of encouragement that perhaps you haven't had before. And with you focusing on your high vibrational energy, you're going to be more receptive to their communications. So you will feel that joy in your solar plexus, in your stomach area there. You'll start to feel that level of excitement, those butterflies tingling inside of your stomach area there. That is your intuition. And this is the way that your spirit team, your helpers, your guides will implant that encouragement into you to help you to move to the next level in your new journey within your life. And so having that level of respect and understanding for yourself, being the observer, seeing the bigger picture, because after all, life is an inside job. Only you can make the decision. Take your power back. It's now time for you to shine. and own the truth of who you truly are. Well, now we're going to move into the next section of the show, which is the channel section, which sees me becoming a vessel in order for Spirit to bring their communications through. Again, it's always a privilege and a pleasure for myself to listen back to this, because at the time when I'm doing the channeling, I don't recall any of the information. I'm just holding that frequency, holding that alignment for them to bring forward this information. So I'm very much looking forward to see what comes through this week. So sit back, relax, enjoy this week's channeling from Spirit. And if you need to take notes, then please do. Feel free to do that.
Hello, thank you for allowing us to come through today. We would like to talk to you about various subjects. One of those subjects is about freedom, free will, and the restraints on which you put yourself under in your day-to-day living. So let's begin. Well, first of all, a lot of you will be aware that you have, shall we say, insecurities, obstacles that are blocking your progress within your life. You have these little fears within your life that are stopping you from exceeding beyond your capabilities. What we mean by this is that you're far greater than what you give yourself credit for. And these little blocks and insecurities are there to stop you from shining. And only you have placed them there, down to the fact that you have subconscious belief systems in place that are stopping you from ascending and being the best version of yourself. So to remove these, shall we say, insecurities away from your life, what you need to do is focus on the truth of who you are. And the truth of who you are is ever present. You're here, everything, everyone, you're vibrating at a high vibrational energy. And so when you come to realize that you can manifest and have anything within your life, then your life will start to unfold very differently, and it will come to a great shock to other people around you when everything seems to be working out in beautiful synchronicities for you. And this is simply, all you're doing is you're not giving your time and attention to those fears or insecurities, those energy blocks that have been stopping you from fulfilling every element of your life's calling. So, what you will notice is when you start and ask the universe what you intend to occur in your life and what help you would like it within your life, when you intend it and make it so, then you just simply step out of the way. Step out of the way from anything and allow this beautiful intention that you expressed into the universe to come forward into your reality. And when it comes in, you will be triggered by it, you'll be excited by it. And what we mean by that, there will be that level of excitement that says, wow, it's really happening, it's here, it's now. And then there will be that default setting that will kick in from your subconscious mind saying, hang on a minute, this can't be right, this isn't for me. And so you're trying to block what's coming to you, what you've asked for from the universe. So we say to you, be aware of the triggers, and there are triggers. And with all triggers, they can be removed. And the way that you remove the triggers is by removing your attention to them. By being aware of them, yes, recognizing patterns that have occurred throughout the course of your life, and then simply removing your vibration from them, your attention from them. And by doing that, we'll use the analogy actually. It's a bit like a naughty child that keeps making loud noise and disrupting a classroom and causing all manner of disturbances. Well, they're doing that to get your attention, to get a reaction from you. And when you don't give your reaction or your attention to that little child that's playing up, that's causing all this nuisance, then that energy simply dies down and it loses interest. it realizes it's not going to get anywhere. So it falls back into line, the child we're talking about, and so it starts to behave in a manner that gets your time and your attention. So it's using that analogy, it's a similar principle when you experience triggers or roadblocks coming into your flow state vibrational energy. So when you're recognizing that that is there, but you're not giving it your attention, you're just recognizing it's there, and then simply ignore it and focus on what you do want and what you have intended to come forward. And you see, that way everything will fall into line and in synchronicities will all line up for you. So this is part of why we've come through today in this transmission, to tell you all that you have always had this capability and power all along. It's simply down to the fact that you've all been conditioned in various states and forms throughout the course of your lives. This conditioning can occur from maybe parenting, by being a child, or by teachers. It can come in many forms. It can come through employers. It can come through friends, or even society, and society's values moving through you, and you're simply repeating them parrot fashion. And in doing so, you're restricting the beauty of your own life, restricting your life from flowing in the way that it is meant to do so. So that is one of the things we wanted to share with you today, to take your power back and understand that you're actually standing in front of your own way. Most of you your natural instinct will be to blame society, to blame others. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Rather than going and looking at it from a different perspective and saying, well, actually, I have the power all along, and it's where I place my focus and attention on, my conscious focus and attention on, and be more responsible with where I place my attention. Then when you do that, you see, everything changes for the better for you, and it flows a lot easily in your life. And you'll find this happening almost instantaneously when you change that. Also, we want to instruct you, and I think instruct is a strong word for this communication. Let us amend that terminology. We would like to advise you. We'd like to advise you to watch your grammar, your language, like I've just corrected myself there. And what we mean is the fact that when you use words, they are very strong, with intention, with energy, with frequency, and it's how you deliver that word and how you use the choice of the frequency within that word and the delivery of that word that will actually manifest things into your life, whether you like it or not. So by changing your grammar and the way that you flow and integrate in society, you will notice that you will start to recognize a pattern showing up. The choice of words that you're using is not in alignment with the things that you're wanting to manifest into your current reality. So when you understand this and you recognize these triggers, these words that aren't the correct terminology to be using if you're wanting to manifest, say, for example, finances in your life, then you've got to match those vibrations, those words of the finances that you want to bring through into your life. So it's no good wishing. Wishing is neither here nor there. Intention is the word you need. When you intend, I intend it to be so. Do you understand? You feel that energy in that statement that we've shared with you. So, for example, you could say, I intend to be financially supported throughout the course of my life. And so it is. Do you recognize the strength in that passage, that sentence that we shared with you? You're intending it, you're owning it, you're taking responsibility with those choices of words. And by finishing it off and it is so it is, or it is done, what you're doing is just stating that, declaring that to the universe, and just let that intention go out in the knowledge and safety that will come into your fruition, into your moments. Now it's up to you, as we said earlier, to recognize it when it does show up. Don't be intimidated or frightened of these opportunities that come your way. Simply say, thank you, I knew you were on your way. I'm so grateful you've arrived. And you see that again, that choice of words, you're taking ownership, you're owning that very thing that you've created, and you're showing a level of gratitude and respect for the process. Now this is very, very, very important when you go and understand that you are energy. Energy is everything. And when you match and align the frequencies and the vibrational intention with everything, showing that level of love and gratitude, then everything will fall into place as it is meant. So we thank you so much for allowing us to come through and have this conversation with you today. We wish you all every success with all of your manifestations moving forward, and recognizing the patterns that you've allowed yourself to follow that have led you down a pathway of resistance. We want you to change that level of being to the state of flow. You're now going to flow with ease and grace in your life and follow that passion from your heart. And again, in listening to those words we chose in this transmission, you'll understand that feels just right, doesn't it? You feel it in your heart, that statement. So thank you for listening. Now I'd like to pass you over to another communicator before we finish this transmission.
Do you know what? I'll tell you something for nothing, shall I? All of these principles that were shared with you today, you can all do them. There's no right or wrong. You are all deserving of your greatness. It's time to take ownership of that greatness and live a life that is yours, and take that back, take that power back, and understand that you can achieve absolutely anything you want to when you intend it. When you remove all of these blocks out of the way, you can do it. You are more powerful than what you've ever believed you were. We're not saying this to make you big-headed or to inflate your ego in any way. We're just simply stating these truths to you with a hope that you'll align with this information and that it will click into that frequency within your heart, removing those restraints that you've placed yourself under. So the next time you have a trigger moment or you experience feeling worried about anything in your life, question why are you feeling that way. And when you question it, then you can move and remove that very thought, that very roadblock out of your life. It won't stand up. It won't stand up to criticism. It won't stand up to these lines of questioning that you'll be doing. This is the only way that you can get out of this limbo state where you're treading water. Doing the internal questioning and asking, is that true? Is that true? And when you finish every line of questioning, is that true? Only the truth will prevail. And so it will remove those blocks that have been stopping you from living your best life. So we thought we'd share this with you today in aid that it will help you on your journey forward. We thank you for listening and taking the time to appreciate this information that we brought forward for you today. We leave you with our love, with our healing, and with our blessings. And remember, choose your words wisely and always follow that line of questioning when something triggers a block in your life. This is how you remove it. God bless, and we look forward to your communications very soon.
Again, what a fantastic transmission from the world of spirit there. And I'm sure that we can all interact with the information that was exchanged there. Interesting to hear about our free will being expressed as well, and that we have the power of choice. And where we place our focus determines our outcome as well. So it's good to remember that, isn't it? And also the fact that we are our own worst enemy. We place energetic blocks, maybe subconscious belief systems or programming in our own way that stops the flow of the energy, that stops us from achieving the things that we want to do. So interesting to hear, in order to remove them, that the techniques that were shared there from spirit. Also the fact that we need to set our intentions, making clear intentions, and like we say, move out of our own way. Regardless of those energy blocks, we need to shift our focus on what we do want rather than those insecurities there. And also very interesting about shifting our focus, definitely, on what we do want, because obviously that way anything that isn't in alignment with that has to move away from your vibration. And so it amplifies our manifesting qualities and abilities when we do that as well there. Very interesting to hear about watching our words, as the words that we choose to use does shape our reality, because behind those words there are a frequency and energy tone that goes out into the ether, and then anything that matches that will then come into our vibrational alignment. So very interesting to hear, to watch your choice of words and maybe edit your words so that it is in alignment with what you desire there. Also, taking ownership of our greatness. Now, it's something that a lot of us feel uncomfortable about doing. And again, it's just being in alignment with the truth of who we are. And then also question the emotions as well to gain clarity. Is that really true? Is it true? Is that really a true situation? That will gain us clarity to manifest a lot quicker. So amazing communication there from spirit. So now we're going to move on to this week's energy forecast reading. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice, and I'm a spiritual medium. And welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for the week commencing Monday, the 19th of June, 2023. Now, those of you that have watched me work before will know that I consult the wisdom of my spirit guides and helpers, and also consult the wisdom of the angel tarot card. So what I'm about to do is just shuffle this pack and allow a card to come out at random for this week's energy forecast reading. And right on cue, one has just done that. So here's your card for this week's energy forecast reading. Now I'm going to link into the vibration. Okay, well, straight away I feel as though this week is going to be a better week for you, as it's going to see you taking responsibility of who you are and the divinity of who you are. You're going to be focusing on your strengths rather than your perceived weaknesses. And by doing that, you're going to move beyond any limitations that you've placed yourself under. This week will also see you having more of a spring in your step. You'll have a youthful glow about you, and it will be noted and recognized by others around you. In many respects, you will have a magnetic quality about you that will draw people towards your general direction. When this does occur, it is your responsibility and your choice only, not to be shy, not to withdraw that beautiful energy of yours, but to come forward and open up more and share that inner beauty that you possess with the world. In doing so, you're going to heighten those around you, their vibration. You're going to be giving them that inspiration to do the same in their life as well. But also, I feel an excitement within your life this week, and I feel an upliftment. There's some positive changes coming in to the point where you'll be amazed. You'll be, how did that happen? Wow, that's incredible. I'm so grateful. And by having that level of gratitude, you will increase that positivity coming in your life this week. I am feeling the heart chakra and energy around the heart chakra expanding for all those that are watching this. And I feel as though this will happen in ways like my guides are saying, that you don't expect. There'll be some blessings coming your way, some healings, and there'll be some unconditional love coming your way, to the point where you feel comfortable in your own skin, you feel comfortable about letting your guard down and expressing yourself clearly and openly in a very positive manner. I also sense with you this week that you do need to make sure that you're keeping hydrated, not just for medical purposes, but also I feel in terms of energy and vibration, because you are going to be a conduit of energy. You're going to be channeling that energy through you, that healing through you. And in doing so, you will need to have that sustenance. You will need to have that energy for you to carry on doing that. And water is the, shall we say, the carrier of that energy for you this week. I also sense a ringing in the left ear, those that are watching this. And I feel as though that left ear ringing is, shall we say, angelic downloads coming into you. Now, when I'm talking about these, I'm talking about shifts in your DNA configuration. I'm talking about you having different viewpoints within your life. You're going to be more open to potentialities in your life, whereas before you had that limitation. You had those roadblocks stopping you from having these encounters. These downloads coming in are going to remove some of those energy blocks that you've been placing before you. So if you do notice that high-pitched shrill tone coming into your left ear, this is what's happening. Also, pay attention to your eyes feeling a little bit irritated this week. I don't feel as though this is anything medical to concern yourself about. I feel as though that this is on an energetic level. So in other words, you're going to see different frequency bands with your physical eyes. And this includes light anomalies such as orbs, such as energy wisps, such as colors in your atmosphere out of your peripheral vision. And you'll see things moving very quickly in front of your eyes there, your eyesight. So trust the visions that you're getting, trust the images that you're seeing, and know that this is what's happening. You're being given that upgrade. I'm going to turn the card over now for you and go through it. So at the top of this card, we've got the number 6. So I'd like you to research the angel number of number 6, as I feel that that will resonate with you on a deep level this week as well, give you that additional information. Also, I'm being told that 6 is divided by 2 is 3 each. 2 3s are 6. So there's something to do with a partnership, an equal partnership coming into your life this week. And I feel as though the masculine and energy and feminine energies will be balanced on an equal level this week. So do watch out for that. At the bottom of this card, it reads, the divine physician. Now, what I feel as though that represents is talking about those healing codes that are coming into you. It's talking about you feeling that positive alignment within yourself. It's also telling you about you having that magnetic quality, that you're going to help others, and in turn, others are going to help you. What you give, you receive. So removing those blocks as well. And also it's saying to you that you have the power to do this. You have that choice. You're one choice away from connecting with that high vibrational healing energy. So that's what I feel that represents. And it's also referring to you healing yourself, not seeking answers or help externally from others, but by taking that responsibility, by going through your thought processes, by going through your emotions, you're going to give yourself that healing back, that you've had that ability to do so all along. Looking into the card, we've got this beautiful color of yellow and orange around the edge of the card. Yellow would indicate having more sunshine in your life, more positive things coming into your life. It would also indicate the solar plexus, the chakra where your stomach muscles are, and it refers to your intuition. So it's telling you to trust your hunches, trust your feelings and your intuition this week, as that will lead you in a pathway that has least resistance, that will align with you. And you'll find you'll just flow into that general energetic place there. Like I say, we've got orange there and there's a red color there. That's telling you to be more present. It's also telling you to be receptive of energies coming in to help you, push you beyond your comfort zones and the boundaries that you've placed in front of yourself, energetically speaking. So looking into the artwork of this card, we've got this beautiful divine masculine energy. To me, looks very similar to Jesus, doesn't it? So an ascended master. So it's also telling about that divinity. It's also asking you to to continue to put your prayers out into the ether. A prayer is asking, isn't it? And a meditation is allowing those answers to come in, and or clearing that space in your mind so that you can observe and see and witness these answers coming in from the universe. So he's telling you to keep yourself positive, keep your faith, and look out for the signs there as well. The masculine energy is telling you to take charge of a situation rather than letting things just slide and come here, come there. It's telling you to take responsibility. Also, there's a gathering. As you can see, there's lots of people being attracted to this energy, which goes in line with what we were saying earlier. With your high vibrations being in alignment and being out there and expelling from you, you're going to draw in a magnetic quality that you have, people towards you. So don't be surprised when people come to you, make small talk, make conversation, where people want to spend time in your vibration and maybe just hear your stories, hear your experiences, and they just feel so comfortable in your energy. This is because you're vibrating higher. This is also because those people that are magnetically drawn to you, their vibration's changing, and so they're initially drawn to you for that reason as well. Also, there's an element of physical and emotional attraction there, so watch out for this coming in this week. Also, as you can see in this setting, there's like a country setting, a farmhouse scene there in the background. To me, that's talking about self-sufficiency. And it's talking about, yes, it's good to be self-sufficient and have all your eggs in a row, but just be open to others' offers of help when it does come your way, and actually say yes. You'll be giving them that opportunity to shine and grow once you do that. So that's what I'm picking up for this week's energy forecast reading. I hope that aligns with you. Thank you for hearting, liking, commenting and sharing. If you've enjoyed what you've seen on here and you would like a one-to-one private reading or any other of my services, then please head over to my website, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium, and arrange your booking there. In the meantime, come and join me every Monday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on my radio show called From Beyond with Glenn Boddice on www.pulsetalkradio.com, talking about all things spiritual, paranormal, and self-help. In the meantime, have a blessed week. Bye for now.
Well, it sounds like we're all set for an interesting week this week, and owning our own divinity by the sounds of it, as we're all going to be that magnetic draw to the universe. So look out for this. Thank you once again for tuning in for this week's episode. I hope the information that was all inspired from Spirit has resonated with you on some level and has given you maybe food for thought in your own personal development, in your own life there as well. Can I extend the invitation to you if you have any show suggestions, any ideas, or indeed if you have any stories to share of either paranormal, spiritual, self-help, any of those topics, then please do get in touch with the show. And you can do that by going over to my website, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com, or you can contact me at glennboddice@live.co.uk. It would be wonderful to hear from you and have those interactions with you. Any feedback on the show would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you have any feedback for the forecast reading that you've just listened to at the end of the show, maybe some of those things have helped you in your week ahead, and maybe you have evidence of that being the case. It would be, again, fascinating to hear from you. Anyway, I wish you a wonderful week. Whatever it is you choose to do this week, do it with love, do it with passion, do it with ease and grace, and remove those energy blocks out of the way and take divinity into your own hands, your own divine qualities there as well, and let yourself shine. So you can join me here at the same place, same time next Monday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on pulsetalkradio.com. with myself, Glenn Boddice, from Beyond. Have a blessed week, everybody. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to glennboddicespiritualmedium.com.